Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, Technical Trader, Thursday night, September the 22nd. Market got slam dunked as we thought it would, and ETFs that we were featuring last night just exploded. And I wanted you to take a look at about a dozen of them that we follow closely to see where they're at. The EDZ, which was a big percent gainer, up 21% today, although at one point it was up even more, as well as most of them did sell off late in the day when the market snapped back. But you can see that after the big surge in August, it formed a little left shoulder, head, and right shoulder neckline here. When that exploded yesterday, today it gapped up and blew through the early August highs and ran up almost 6 points, 21%, 6.8 million shares traded. That's big volume for that stock, and we're in a spike up mode. Now, whether this is a exhaustion gap or a breakaway gap is another thing, but the target right now is a 40, 41, 42 zone, something like that. Let's call it 41. It's about 7 more points from here. If we continue to get thrashed, this thing could continue to spike up. But be careful as it's overbought. TVIX, another monster move today. Has already gone from in the mid-teens to over 80, 83.27. Our target was at the top of this channel right here, and it tagged it right on the money between 83 and 84, hitting 83.27. At that point, up about 18 points, closed up 13.20 though. 4.9 million traded. It's heaviest volume in about a month since we spiked up here. And although there may be some more upside spike, there is resistance right here. If we continue, the market continues to fly, to get hammered, I should say. This could fly into the low 90s perhaps, but be very careful here on all of these as they've spiked up now. The ZSL, let's focus in on that. You'll see that the stock had broken out with a breakaway gap today. And if we can get in on this here. Hang on a sec. I want to show you something. You can see that the stock basically was in a wedge pattern and today gapped and exploded for 244, 19.4%. And not too far off the high, but we did tell our people that the target was 15.15 and a quarter. We reached 15.30. So there is a swing trade target met right here. If it does break out and go to the upside, it could fill that gap and make it to about 16.75, my next target. The ERY, which is the oil ultra short, which exploded here in early August and backed off in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave decline, retested, double bottom around 16, and then has exploded to almost 24 today, nearly reaching the high in the August area. So this is a quick move from 16 to 23.93, almost virtually a 50% move in about 4 days. Got to be careful here. We're a little overbought, but should it run up through that 24.5, 3/4 high, we could see something even as high as 27 or 28 before it's over, depending on the market, of course. YANG. This is the Chinese Direxion China Bear, triple China Bear. And with the Chinese market falling apart, very well may see higher levels. We have a swing trade out for a $29 or $30 target. Got up to 25.59 today before backing off to 24.30. Still up 3.14 or 15% today. And volume was 119,000 shares, so it's a thinly traded one. And it could easily spike up into the high 20s. But and it did gap right above, right from this high and higher. So that today's low at around 22.62 is going to be short-term support. SMN, another short-term ultra short on the ProShares ultra short basic materials. You can see it spiked from 19.5 to 27.13 just in the last week. The key was breaking across this line here that we highlighted over the last couple of days. You'll see this big wedge was broken out yesterday, gapped up today across that high, and equaled and even exceeded this high here. The angle of ascent calls for potential move up to 30.31. We use that as our short-term target, but again, these stocks are all overbought short-term and could pull back at any point. So we need to be careful in these trailing stops on these. The FXP, another Chinese ultra short, even looks better as it popped. 1, 2, 3 wave decline, held right at the prior highs, the prior June high, and right at the pullback low and the 50-period moving average. It was a perfect retracement and hold. Moved back up, pulled back off of resistance, broke out and retested, and has moved from 33 to 45 just in the last week. It's a fantastic move. It's likely some of these could at any point back off or consolidate in this area, but also with the momentum as strong as it is, if the market goes any lower, these could even spike up further, but got to be really careful with these short term here, as they're all overbought. The SCO popped out of this falling wedge, gapped away, breakaway gap, and I think this may have some more to go. Look for a move up towards the 70-71 range potentially. The VXX, along with the TVIX, all look similar. The angle of ascent on this one calls for a potential move towards the high 50s to low 60s, so keep an eye on that one, particularly if the market gets extremely volatile. The BGZ, the large cap triple bear, which had run from 32 up to the high 50s, came all the way back down to the high 30s, double bottom, and now is spiking back up. Today it broke out across the declining tops line. Resistance at 51 is our next target, secondary target 55.6. FAZ, the financials, with the had a massive move in July and August, came down on a 1-2-3 wave decline, held near support, bounced, retested, and this week jumped from 52 to 74. Tremendous move, right up against the mid-August snapback high, so there's resistance right up here. Should it get through, though, we could see 80-82 on it. The TZA also, similar patterns you can see, big move up, 1-2-3 wave decline, had a 4th, 5th wave down, made a higher low, formed a big wedge, broke out yesterday, followed through. Resistance around 60, maybe tested, but we'll see if we get any further downside in the market, of course. And lastly is GLL, the gold ETF, which not quite doing as well as the silver. But wanted to show you how that looks. We can see that this little wedge in here was broken today with a pop, but the pop couldn't get up to the even declining 50-day moving average. So this is the weaker of the two, for sure, as ZSL is much stronger than GLL, as the price of gold is holding up a little bit better than silver here. Nevertheless, target is around 18 if we do get any more upside, 18, 18.25, and through that the stock could get up into the 20 range. That's it for tonight. You guys have a good evening. Talk to you next week.